Good afternoon, Pa. We'll continue the class. Fatima, Gauhar, and Sahana. I just start with today topic Excel built-in functions. So here uh, in Excel 2016, we have more than 400 library functions. We can say built-in function or library functions. So in your Excel worksheet under formula tab, you can find out these are all we consider as function that is library functions. So you can see this category starting from financial function and logical function, text function, working with date and time, lookup function, mathematical and trigonometry function, and plus lot of other functions like statistical, engineering, cubic function, web oriented, information database related. Okay, so we have built-in functions to work with text, date, numbers, and the common functions like logical functions, lookup functions. Okay, so some of the functions will give calculated result, some of the functions will search and give you the results, some of the function based on condition it will be evaluated. Okay, so now these are all the categories we have in Excel. Basic categories are logical, text, date and time, financial, mathematical and trigonometry functions, lookup functions, statistical functions, engineering calculations. Okay, so our first is today I will start up with logical function. So how much ever is possible today, we'll try to complete at least at 1, 2, 3 categories I wanted to finish by today. So any doubts with the previous class, you can ask me. Any of you have doubts with the previous topic? Few minutes we will wait, then I'll start. Anybody have any doubts with in respect to previous chapters? Have you practiced? Okay, so we begin with the first part, logical functions. Logical functions are which is based on logical test. So here logical test, like if you example, I wanted to compare the cell value to some particular range. If it is satisfied, then I want to do some calculation, or if not satisfied, I wanted to perform some other action. So based on condition, you would like to write any values on the cell. So first you have to test the condition. That conditions we call it as criteria, or we can call it as logical test. So when I say logical test, the condition after the evaluation, if it is satisfied, then it returns true. True means 1. If the logical test is not satisfied, then it returns false. False means 0. So any function which perform based on zeros and ones after doing logical test, then those are all comes under logical functions. In that, the commonly used functions are if, or, not, and. Okay, so these are all the first primary category. What we say is called logical functions. You can see here if, and, or, not, and some more extra is there, XOR, if, error. So that also will, once if you know this basic, then you can find out these also. Okay, now, so whenever I'm doing logical test, I can compare. So if it is a numerical value, or if the formula result, I want to compare. For comparison purpose, already I have introduced with relational operators. So these symbols are called as relational operators: greater than or equals, less than or equal, and this is less than, greater than together, which is called not equal. So the meaning of this operator is not equal. If you put less than, greater than together, it means logic not equal to, and equals. Okay, so these are all we consider as logical operator. If you see the very basic thing, here I have in 2 cells, I have values. Here I just compare C equals C5 is greater than D5. So if you see the value, one cell contains 800, another cell is 700. So 800 is greater than 700. I am checking. So this condition is satisfied. So if satisfied, then what I will get here? The result as true. So you can see here the result we are getting true. In case if the value is more than the first cell, I change the value from 700 to 900. Now you can see the formula, it's automatically changed to false. So we are expected 800 is greater than 900. So 800 is not greater than 900. So what I'm getting here, false. So, and one more thing we should remember, any formula or function we write, now what I have written is called formula. Okay, so any formula or function must begin with equal symbol. If else, the Excel will consider is this what you have written, it is as a text. So when I can get the result of that whatever expression I have given, only if I add equal symbol at the beginning. So any formula or function must begin with equal symbol, else the result it will not consider as a formula. So you cannot get the result of that. So that you have to remember. So formulas and functions must begin with equal symbol. Fine. So now I got, based on this 2 values, I got false. Now, how do I represent? I check the condition. If condition is satisfied, I want to give a number 1 or I want to give the number 0. So you can see I'm going to use if function. So here I have written the syntax of this: if logical test, comma, if the condition is satisfied, then value if true, comma, value if false. So this is the syntax of this if function. So the if function will take 3 arguments. First argument is condition or criteria that will be evaluated. After the evaluation, if it is true, when it returns true, then what do you have? The first, after comma, what you give, that is called true part. and after comma, what you give is called false part. Now my intention is I need to compare these two cells. If the condition is satisfied, I wanted to write 1. If condition is not satisfied, I want to write it as 0. So you can see the example equals if, what is a logical test? C5 greater than D5. So sales 1, the data which is in C5, I want to compare with D5. So 800 is greater than 900. So it's false. Okay. If true, what I want to write 1. If false, I want to write it as 0. You can see now we'll get 0. So when it will be 1, if there is a lesser value found in D5, then you can see the result of that. It has first is test. You can see logical test, value if true, value if false. So value if true, what I want to write 1, and next column I have written 0. As per this, 800 is greater than 700. So value is true. So 1 I'm getting. Now, if the condition is satisfied, I want to write the word pass or fail. The another method, like what are the way you can give back the result? So there are different way to give back the result. So here, same, if C5 greater than D5, then what I want to write, instead of the value 1 or 0, I want to write the word pass, or I want to write the word fail. So whenever I'm writing text data, I should give in double quotes. If it is numerical data, you will enter directly. But whenever we are representing text content, pass or fail is a text data. So I should give in double quotes. So you can observe the formula. Now I'm getting pass. Next, instead of direct text, I can even evaluate by writing another formula. So same thing, I want to write pass or fail in capital letter. So equal to, if same logical test, C5 greater than D5, then what I want to write? I want to write the text pass in capital or fail in capital. So here I have already mentioned in G1, G2 pass and fail in small letters. So what I'm going to do here, there is a built-in function in Excel for converting text to capital. So that is called upper, upper, upper function, which is convert the text into capital. So what text I want to write? G1. So G1 contains pass. Else the same text upper of second one. Now you can see it has written pass. So you can go through the formula. If C5 greater than D5, comma, uppercase upper of G1, else upper of G2, and ending with if. So how many parentheses we open? For if one I open, so at the end I am closing. For uppercase, here itself I open close here also. So upper is a built-in function in Excel, Microsoft Excel, for converting given text into capital. So my intention is I can, after testing, I can even call another functions inside your if function. This is also possible. Next, I don't want to write pass or fail. I want to write some yes or no. So how directly I wanted to mention yes or no in capital letter. How do I write? Again equals if the test is C5 greater than D5, comma. In double quotes, I directly write the word yes, or directly I write the word no. Okay, so the user, as per your requirement, you can decide you want to write a text, you want to write a number, you want to call another formula or another function. Everything is as per your requirement. Only thing, you need to know the syntax or the way how to use. Okay, so that will come only with the practice, and you have to note down each and everything, and you have to follow. And once you started working on it, you will only come to know where to give comma, where to give double quotes. So when you are practicing, if you miss parenthesis or comma or double quotes, it shows errors. Okay, next, if the condition is satisfied, same condition, if it is satisfied, I wanted to add C5 plus D5, else I want to write it as in the cell 0 equals, if same condition greater than D5, then if condition is true, I want to add C5 and D5, else return 0. So now it is another set. It's you are writing your own formula instead of, so far pass, fail, yes, no, those are all constants. But first time you are writing one small addition process. So it's your own formula. So now you press enter. This is satisfied the condition. So I'm getting 1500 as a result. Suppose one side I'll try to increase. So now you can see everywhere it becomes fail, false, no, and 0. So when condition is 800 is less than 1200, but we are asking 800 is greater than 1200. So condition is fail, false. So when condition is false, it returns 0. When condition is true, it writes C5 plus D5. Okay. So again, if I change to lesser value, less than C5, automatically my formula result get changed. Plus, I have another thing. Uh, Instead of uppercase, I wanted to use another formula. If C5 greater than D5, then condition is true, then return today's date. So today is a built-in function in Excel, Microsoft Excel, for getting system date, current date. What is another choice I've given? Today plus 500 or today plus 10 days. So according to this, 800 is greater than 700, true. So if true means what I should get? I should get today's date. You can see here. So in my system calendar, like in the calendar, you can see it's February 18th. So here also I'm getting month, date, year. So February 18th I'm getting. In case if the condition is false, then what I will get here? System date plus 10 days. So today is 18th. So 18th plus 10, it becomes 28 days. Okay. So you can observe the first, again, I'm repeating. How do you evaluate one small logical test where I'm comparing two cells value, where 800 and 850. So 800 is greater than 850. I checked. So the system like Excel will evaluate and gives back false because the condition is not true. Same, if after evaluating the condition, I wanted to write either 1 or 0. So I started logical function if. If has three arguments. First argument is logical test. So where logical test I have written as C5 is greater than D5. Second argument, value if true. If logical test is true, then write 1, comma, value if false. Third argument, I've written 0. So after evaluating the condition, 800 is greater than 850 is false. So I'll get the result as 0. And similarly, I'm comparing if this is true, write pass or fail. So again, as per current value, it is false. So I'll get the result as fail. Similarly, if instead of writing numbers, instead of writing constants, can I write another formula inside? Yes. Inside if function, I'm using upper. What is this upper? It's a built-in text function. So we are going to discuss all these things. So which converts the data in G1 to capital. So the word pass will be converted to capital, or the word fail will be converted to capital. So now as per this condition, I'm getting fail. Or I can write direct messages yes or no, like whichever user choice. Yes, I can directly write yes or no. And next, can we write if the after doing logical test, can we write another formula? Yes, I have written add two numbers and write, else you write it as 0. So as condition fails, so it's written as 0. Similarly, can I add some other functions also? Like apart from numbers, apart from text, can I include a date function? Yes, I could use other functions also. So is equal to if bracket open condition comma I have given today. It's a built-in function for giving system date. Else system date plus 10 days. It will increase exactly 10 days from today's date. So I'm getting 28th of February, means condition is false. When you make the condition as true, then everywhere the true result you will get. Whatever you are written, you will be getting. Is it clear? So uh, already we have discussed what is numeric data, date value, text data. So any text constants when you are writing inside the function or formula, we have to represent in double quotes. Okay. So in a function, when I am representing, I have said within double quotes pass. Then only it understand it is a text data. Whereas numerical constants directly you can write. Okay. So I said is equal to today of. So what it returns? System date is equal to upper. So whichever is built in, you will get automatically this tooltip here, where if you pass a text, so I'll give your Excel in small letter I have given. So it will automatically convert it to capital. Okay. So this already you know that logical operators, arithmetic operators, and any formula or function must begin with equal symbol. And if function, I will be like using is equal to if open. What is your test? Whatever conditions you want, you can mention. So for example, I write here uh, G15 and H15. For example, G15 greater than 0, then write as the message positive. Else, I want to write the messages negative. So which cell I have referred? G15. Right now G15 is empty. So I'm getting negative. When I write a number which is positive range, I'll get automatically positive. You can observe G15 greater than 0. 90 is greater than 0. So I'm getting positive. I just written message by myself plus BE. You can write any message. Okay. It's a user choice. So when I make it negative number, then I'll get a message here negative. Okay. So in this whole example, what I have we discussed right now, it is based on working with logical function, logical test, where I can, after test, I can write a formula, I can write another function, I can write text constant, I can write small formulas inside. Okay. So any doubts, anybody? you can ask me, you can message me. I'll continue to next one. So this is just a basics about if formula and how you can introduce with your data. The next we will see now. Anybody have doubts? Only thing, you people are not asking any doubts. You're not feel free to ask any doubts, or you feel that it is not so comfortable to ask your doubts. Say yes or no. Any doubts? You're not responding. Okay, I'll continue now. Okay. You can see one small example. Uh, we have in the logical function if, or, and one more is not. Okay. So here, when we wanted to check, so only one condition means directly you have written inside the if statement. Suppose I have to compare more than one conditions. How do I present inside if statement? For that, we are going to use when we wanted to check multiple conditions, then you wanted to uh, carry some action, then you can use either and or function. So in Excel, under logical function, you have and one more is or. Both are used to represent multiple condition, where and function, all the conditions, if you give two or more than that, if you can give multiple conditions, out of that all the condition must satisfied, then only and returns true. Whereas or is either one, where in a formula when I'm writing, I can give the condition 1, condition 2, or test 2, like this. We can give n number of conditions. Out of that, after evaluating all of the given condition, it returns true only when all the tests are satisfied, all the conditions met, true. Whereas or is you same similar to and only, but either one, if it is true, then it will be evaluated as true. So I give 5 or more, any number of condition, there is no restriction. At a time 256 conditions can be evaluated. Okay. So, and to check more than one condition, n number of conditions, same way or, but and when I should use all the condition, whatever we mention, it should satisfy. Then based on that, I should take action. Then use and. Or means I give multiple choices. Among that, any one is true means I should carry the action. Then you can use or. Okay. So here, simple example I have given. And function I started, I have given K2 is greater than 50, comma, L2 is greater than 50. So two cells I have, only two cells. I'm expecting both of them are greater than 50. Right now, the values are greater than 50. So it returns true. Suppose one value I change to less than 50, 49 or 50 only I give. Greater than 50 means it starts from 51. So it becomes false. Why it becomes false? Because one of this condition is not true. You are expecting greater than. So 50 above. Okay. So anything which is less than 50, any one of the cell is not true, then it returns false. So one cell is satisfied, but another cell or a second condition is not satisfied. So it becomes false. When both are satisfying the condition, then it returns true. So right now in both the cell, it is greater than 80. So you can see the example. And is for testing more than one condition. In the test, all the condition must be satisfied. It should verified and all of them should return true. Then finally the AND function will say true. If anyone is below 50, then automatically it becomes false. Whereas or, if you take or function, I take the first condition greater than 50, then same way second one greater than or equal to 50. Now the meaning itself, either first cell greater than greater than 50 or second cell greater than 50. So at least any one is satisfied, then I'll get true. So in your place, like in your cases, like where you do practical or where you do working place, when multiple condition has to be evaluated and based on that you want to carry the action, then you can use with the combination of if and or if and or. See to that, and is all the condition must be satisfied, then only I should take action. For example, I give 5 subjects for the students. Okay, where for example subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, like that. Here I mention the marks of that student. Here when I wanted to give the result, my criteria is if all the cell values are above 40, then I want to give the result as pass, else I wanted to give it as fail. So how do I give here? Is equal to if and, but you have to give individually, greater than 40, then L12 greater than 40. So you can identify when I'm giving the cell address, automatically the cell is blocked with that color, blue and then maroon. Then same way M12. So it's differentiating with colors, that you should understand that whether we are referring correct cell or wrong cell. N12 greater than or equal greater than 40. Then so all of them is above 40. Then I wanted to write the message as pass, else I want to write the text as fail. Double quotes close. Is it clear? So once I enter, right now all of them are satisfied, so I should get pass. You're understanding? Here any one of the subject I purposefully make it to 39, then my result will become fail. All the three are true, but one is not satisfied, so it becomes fail. So where like these cases, set all the condition must be true, then it should carry some action. Then use if and or and combination. If anyone means use or. Okay, so inside if I'm using and function, so you can write one function within another function for any kind of calculations or evaluations. Okay, so in the real time, like this like one function within another function, like with this combination only we'll use more. Okay, so from now onwards you have to keep practicing it. Any doubts? Okay, so here I just introduced and function. Similarly, I have a criteria you can see in this table, in the given table. Here I mentioned less than 40 means I'll write it as fail, greater than 40 means I'll write it as pass, but 40 to 50, 40 to 60 is pass. Above 60 is distinction. Above 100 if they give. Up to 60 to 100 it is pass or pass plus distinction. Above 100 means I should say invalid mark. Okay. So right so far slowly we started with one condition, sales 1 and sales 2 we were compared. Then I started comparing more than 2 3 4 like that. Now I have given around 4 criteria. When the student mark is 120 I should get invalid. When the student is 70 I should say distinction. When I student is 44, so 44 is pass. Minus 78 invalid. Below 40 fail. So how do I evaluate this? You can see the example. It's a lengthier, little bit lengthier. So what and all I mentioned, and 60 to 100 is distinction. 40 to 60 pass. For less than 40, greater than 0 fail. Apart from all the 4 cases, it should come as invalid. Means if you are entering the marks above 100 or below 0, then I should get message invalid. All negative numbers are greater than 100. 120 is not a valid mark, so I'll say invalid. For example, I give 30. 30 is it's a valid range, but it is fail mark. So you can see now in one if function, I didn't stop. If and if this is true distinction, then I started again another if statement. So writing one if statement within another if is called nested if. Okay. So the term nested if. What is nested if? One if within the scope of another if state, if function. That is called as nested if. So I'll show you how do you write this. So see the criteria table and how do we start writing it. Let me reduce so that it will be visible to you. So how do I start now? If I want the result here, if first we started and, so starting from the higher range, greater than 60, comma, what should be greater than 60 mark range? That means the cell address O5. O5 greater than 60, comma, O5 less than equal to 100. 60 to 100. What I want to write? Distinction. So the first message is distinction. Else value false. What is the next criteria? If and O5, second condition, greater than or equal to 40, comma, O5 less than or equal to 60, then I have to write pass. Else if O5 greater than 0 means starting from 1 till less than 40, then I should get messages fail. Or if none of the things are true, then what do I want to write? Invalid mark. Then close all the parentheses which we opened. Enter. Okay. Here what I missed when I'm writing and function itself, I have missed. but still I am getting false. I have not written fail. So like this small mistakes may happen. So clearly watch the formula. So now I'm getting invalid like the previous result. Once I drag till where I have marks, I will get the same result. So anytime I change the value, I'll get the different results. So above 100 will be invalid, below 0 also invalid. Anything I give negative ranges, then also it is invalid. We're getting. So it's by seeing it look little bit complicated, but once you start, it will be easy and okay, Sanjana. Okay, so here you can see Sanjana, for you only I'm telling. You can see here I have four cases: pass, fail, distinction, and invalid. Okay, so I wanted to get if the student below 40 valid mark, but below 40 means I should get fail. When it is invalid, below 0 mark, above 100 marks is invalid. When the student get minimum 1 to 0 to 40, up to 40, it is valid mark, but the student is fail. 40 to 60, above 40 it is pass, but only if you get above 60 then distinction. So here only I mentioned four cases. So as per that I am doing. So like this in the real time, we will get different cases, like different criteria. Okay. Is it clear? You can see here 0 to 40. I can mention clearly the marks from 0 to 40 is fail. Less than or up to 40 it is fail. 41 to, I can say 41 to up to 60 pass. Then here 61 to 100 distinction. Above 100 or less than 0 is invalid. Yeah, here previously as per the case I was writing, I missed the true part. I have not written. I by mistake I left it this. True and false I should write. No. So where I left that, so in that case it is executing, but false means what I should get. It should say invalid. No. So where I didn't write fail. For those who are all fail marks, they are getting what? As false. So I don't want to get right false. I wanted to get the message as fail. So you can observe, or you can see the existing one also. First case distinction, second choice pass, third choice fail. Apart from distinction, pass or fail, the fourth choice is invalid. So fourth choice I didn't test the condition only. If it is not in any of these three, the fourth one is invalid. Okay, thank you. Fine. So In this example, I just write it in the notepad. If you want, you can copy that or you can see later. So this is how we have written. I just copied from the Excel sheet and I have written 60 to 100 distinction else. So first one criteria, comma, what is true, then comma, if 40 to 60 pass, else if 0 to 40 fail. So fail is different, invalid mark is different. If I give the total marks itself 100, but the user enter 150, 130 like that, then I should write invalid. Okay. So slowly you start doing practice. And in Excel, it's very familiar for this kind of formulas and functions. Okay. Yeah. So this is an example for nested if statement. Anybody have doubts? You could message me. Okay, Nandita. Fine. Okay. So next model in this. So just now we have seen working with and or. So you can see the different examples to make you understand. So you can see this. I used or, if or, instead of and we are using or. So I have checked if B2 is delivered or it could be paid, means the order is closed. Something in this uh, transaction, it's come to an end. Else, still the order is opened, means for a particular order number, I wanted to see the status. So if in this column, B column, if the data is delivered or paid, then I want to write the message closed, or else I want to write the message as opened. So or B2 is equal to delivered, comma, B2 is equal to paid. So you are asking Excel system to evaluate if the cell B2 contains delivered or paid. Either one. It's need not necessary to satisfy both. Either one of the cell, the cell, either if it is contained delivered or paid, message is closed, else message is opened. Second, why it is considered as transit? Because why it's considered as open? Because in B2, that is in B3, there is no word called delivered or paid. So if the condition is not satisfied, the false part will get executed. So you can see. Even this is not delivered or paid, it's something other word, cancelled. So the order is opened. This is example for or. Similarly, you can see another example. I don't want to write opened. I want to make it status as empty. If delivered or paid, I want to write the status of that order is closed. Else, I made it empty double quotes. This is call it as empty string. So it will give you blank cell. Other than delivered and paid, in transit, in cancel, for all of them, it gives empty text. So every time it is not necessary I should write true, pass, fail, distinction. If the condition is not satisfied, even I can mention that cell can have empty values. So if it is empty, we will only check no, why it's empty. So that is also another way. So anywhere in the formula you wanted to represent empty, you can just open, there is no space, open quotes, close quotes. If you write like this is empty. Similarly, one more example you can go through. Same kind of example, but I'm checking in the particular record, I wanted to verify order number, quantity, and date. Any one of the cell is empty, then I wanted to say incomplete. In this, one cell is empty. That means date cell is empty. There is no transaction date is mentioned. So I wanted to write the status as incomplete. Else it could be empty. Means all the column values are filled. Among the three, all of them are filled means remark is empty. There is no issue in the transaction. If there is date is not mentioned or quantity is not mentioned or the order number is any of the data is missing, then I will say the remark as incomplete status. When all the data, all the three data are present for me, I will write empty. So you can see in this, what is the formula? If or A19 is empty or B, any one of the cell I'm checking is empty. If not, then what you want to write? If not empty, then double quotes. So logically you think when I have a data, any one of the cell is not filled by the user, then I will say it is incomplete. Or else every data is mentioned means I don't want to write any remark. So when there is no remark in this, then you should understand all the columns are filled properly. So only the two rows have all the three columns are filled up. In the rest of the thing, either quantity is unfilled or date is unfilled. That's why the remark is written as incomplete. So these are all the way I can use if, or, and functions. So I have to test I have to verify the cell value to the expected range. If this is the value I want to calculate it. For example, I have here total sales value. Simple example. I mentioned some value. Here I wanted to give discount. When I'll give discount, if the purchase is more than 50,000, then I will give 10% discount. So how do I refer? If C11 greater than 50,000, then on the C11 I wanted to give 10% of discount. Else I don't have any discount. I'll just write zero discount. Why it's coming zero? Because it is not greater than 50,000. If you give more than 50,000, then the discount will be 10% on this. So it's automatically calculating and writing. So you can note down this. So small test, if this is evaluated to true, then give 10%. Suppose if they are asking not 10%, I'll give 5% discount. That is also possible. So now if I change the value to 40,000, so now I'm getting 5% discount. So everything is in the choice of user. You have a condition and you want, if test is satisfied, you want to write true, or you don't want to write anything, or you want to write something else. Both can be decided. So the only three arguments with if: logical test, first is logical test, comma, after comma what I have is called value if true, after next comma, second comma, value if false. So the three arguments we are mentioning. When the condition is very simple, you are directly writing. If there is multiple conditions, then there you are introducing and function or function. Okay. So you can go through this three. There are different examples with normal using if statement. And in the if statement, what are the way I can give back the value as a formula, as a text, as a number. Then next, within one if, you can write another if statement. It's called nested if. And the third model is you are written different way of using and an or function. How do I check for the text? How do I check the empty values? And how do I calculate like this user defined formulas? So in the organization, this will be differ that condition. Every organization, they have their own rules, they have their own criterias. Based on that, they will function. Okay. So that's it about if function, logical function. So after 5 minutes, we will continue. So you can take break for 5 minutes. Okay, we'll continue. Shall we continue, Pa? Yeah. Okay. So the next function, we work with text functions. So next category is text functions. So under this, any data which is not uh, available for arithmetic calculations or not belongs to date and time, then all of them comes under text functions or sorry, text data. Example, the data with the combination of alphabets, only alphabets like name, first name, last name, company name, customer name. So those are all example of text. Plus any data with the combination of alphabets and numbers like mail ID, those are all address. So all of them comes under text. So here, when we get data, when we want to prepare reports, if it is a text based, the user may enter with their own whatever rules or whatever formats they know. According to that, they will be entering the data. So we know that in the application forms will tell fill the name in capital letter, or so some, even though we give the rules, they will enter the data with considering their own way of writing. Okay. So if I get the data in a different structure, how do I format it? How do I get back to normal? So for all, I can use this text functions. So here under this, we are going to discuss today len, length function. So which is called length function. Then converting to uppercase, lowercase, small letter and capital letter, proper case. Then we have extracting the strings. For that, I'm going to introduce left, right. These are all function names. Then mid of that. Then to remove unwanted spaces, I use the function called trim. Then for searching the text, we use the function called find and search. Then for comparing text, we use compare. And for concatenating the text, we use concat. Then repeat. So at least minimum, we will try all these functions. Okay. Now let's consider with the examples. Okay. So here, before starting the function, I wanted to introduce the AND symbol. What is the use of this AND? AND is for combining two text. So in this, I combined the first cell, which is MS, and one space. Middle space is there. And next, we have Excel. So finally, I got MS Excel combined together. So for joining two text, so I've given here two data. I said first cell E85 ampersand F85. You can see here the data is written. So where I give here extra space so that I can see Excel to the. So it's basically for concatenating. When I say adding numbers, sum means adding of two numbers or adding of numbers like that. Concatenate means joining one or more text together is called concatenation. In this, in Excel, it supports through this symbol ampersand, that is ampersand symbol will concatenate. Not only two, you can add a number of cells. For example, I give here MS. So if I wanted to add the 3, so what I'm going to do? First this cell, ampersand, second cell, ampersand, third cell, like that. Any combination, any number of cells can be combined so that the data in more than one cell will be joined together. This is for concatenation. Without using any function, I can concatenate. Okay. Where if the same thing, if I want to achieve through function, I have here concatenate. Full term is there, concatenate. So same thing, first cell, comma, second cell, comma, third cell. Okay. You are getting now. So anytime if I alter, my result also will get changed. Whereas this is formula, using formula I concatenated. This is using function, I have concatenation. So concatenation of text means joining the text, where when you are joining, you can combine multiple text. In this example, I combined data from 3 cells and I got concatenated into one. So sometimes the student, for example, the first name for an employee or for a student, we have a data like this. First name will be there, last name will be there. So here full name will be there. So here if I say, for example, the first name is Ramesh and last name is Krishna. I want to join together. I want to write it as single name. So equal to concatenate. Your choice, you use ampersand or the function. First cell address, comma, second cell address. You can see the result. It will join and give you the text. In case in middle, I wanted to get a dot. It's if it is your choice, then you can go for editing. Then in the middle, you can add one dot in double quotes. So you can see Ramesh dot Krishna I'm getting. So sometimes there is a requirement to get a data, you have to take the data from more than one cell. So that is we do by using concatenate. Okay, next. Here, the first function after concatenate, proper. What is here proper? You can see the first letter of every word is capitalized. So the original data is in the cell here. Excel is a spreadsheet program. I have written one small sentence where only E is capital, but the rest of the letters are in small only. When I say proper case, proper of E91, so it will convert, it takes the data, and in that data, E and the first letter of is, that is I, A, S, P, everything will be converted to capital. So first letter of every word will be capitalized. That is called proper case. When you are writing sentences or when you are writing title, you can use this. And next is, we have given the text is Microsoft. I said upper of C93. Whatever data is there in the cell will be converted full to capital, all the letters to capital. That is called uppercase. Uppercase, capital letter, lowercase, small letters. So now the second function equals lower of C93. So I'm getting, so you can write any text anywhere. So example equals the lower of, if I give any data, so directly I give here, so I just write a noun, so where this will, that data will be converted to, all the data will, that is all the letters in the text will be converted to small. So this three can be used for converting text to cap letter or small letter. So sometimes they ask you when you are doing report, they'll ask you convert and present all the data into capital or small. So then you can use this function for converting. Next, trim function. Trim is for removing any unwanted spaces from a text. Any excess spacing, you can see in this example, equals trim of the first text. You can see in Kiran Kumar, before K there is space. After N also extra space. So where inside the text, minimum one space is valid. More than that, if you have more than one space before the text or after the text or middle of the text, all of them will be removed. So that is called trim. Any unwanted space you wanted to remove, you can use trim. Okay. Next, extracting the characters. Under this, left, right, and mid. Left means extract from left side of your string. So D105, this is your string. From this, you wanted to get from left side two characters. So what I got here in MS Excel, first two letter is MS, that I'm getting here. So it's extracting and giving only the specific number of letters from a text, or text can also be called as string. Okay, so now the second example, right. So from the text, from right side four characters, so I'll get 2016. So from right of the text, exactly 6102, that I will get. So from a text I said left you can extract, right you can extract. Similarly, from a text I want to extract from middle of the text, then I can use MID, mid. From the text, from fourth place, I want three characters. So if you do counting, M is first letter, S is second letter, space is third letter, E is fourth letter. From that, next three letter, EXC. So three letters means EXE. So it could be full word, Just example I'm showing. So instead of that, I want 5 letters. If I say from fourth place, next 5 letters. So I'll get exactly middle Excel, the word Excel. This is for extraction. Okay. So you have to extract some characters from one name. For example, I wanted to write here from this text. I just insert one column, insert. I want G Chakravarti. So from the left side, first letter G I want, then Chakravarti. So how do I do that? Is equal to uh, concatenate con left of C101 from that first character. So I'll just get only G. Then I'll write left of C101 from where you count the character 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from 8th character 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 till Y it is 19 characters. And this two right now I'll get error. Okay, it's mean I have to concatenate it. Concatenate first left, then right. Sorry, first character and the last. So you can see now one more error. I should not 8 comma 19. It's not left. What you should use mid. So it's a small thing, but you can see I could extract it. So you please observe that formula, how we have written concatenate left of from that first letter, then one dot, comma, mid of in that same name from 8th character to 19th character, then only you could extract G Chakravarti. So like this, sometimes we need to get the data. For that, I have to use text functions. So this is about left, right, and mid. Then you can see there is a function called len. Len stands for length. So in length, I have given just directly the constant Excel. So I said Excel. So it's just count and give me how many letters are there. I'm getting the counting as 5. Similarly, length of B112. So it counts from first letter till last letter. So EXCEL space also will be counted plus 2016. So totally it counts 5 plus 4 then space 1. So it returns 10. So the counting of characters inside the string is called length. Then there is one more function. Whichever text you say, the text will be repeated for specific number of times. So you can see here star I said for 20 times. So I will get 20 star will be printed on that cell. So the particular text can be repeated for specific number of times. To fill the same text repeatedly into the cell, you can use REPT. So I have even mentioned Bangalore for 5 times. So it has written 5 times. Next function is with search and find. So you can see in this function, I said find the word program B101 in the cell B120. I have come to B120. In this, I want to search the word program. It is there. But here in this comparison, I mentioned G as capital. One letter I made it is capital. So it's case sensitive. When you're asking for searching, particularly with find and search, it is used to find the text, the searching text, find text within B120. That is B120 cell, it has to search. So it is case sensitive. So when you are giving, if you give the proper case, if everything is same, it written where that word P starts. It written the index of that let. Within this text, P starts from 13th place. I give small example. So if I ask here sheet, I'm expecting this word to be searched. So it's present in third, fourth, sixth place, not sixth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, seventh place. So similarly, there is one more function. Instead of find, I can use search. Search is only difference. It is not case sensitive. So what is case sensitive? It when it is doing comparison, it exactly match with small letters and capital letters, uppercase and lowercase. Now I have mentioned here sheet in capital, but there sheet is in small letter. So it does not bother that, it just written if it is available. So when you are searching one string within another, that is called find and search. So when you are searching one string within another string, the search based on including the uppercase and lowercase, if it has to exactly find out means use find. But search is not case sensitive, but both are used to search, find and search. In this, find is case sensitive, search is not case sensitive. Okay. So length, upper, lower, proper, trim, left, right, mid, find, search, concatenate, repeat. So only compare. So what is compare? When you wanted to compare two text, then you can use compare. Equal to compare. Sorry, not compare, exact. Exact. See, I give here ABC. Another text, I'll say ABCD. So two text I'm giving randomly, some example I'm giving. So now I'm asking the system, that is in Excel, to compare two text. If both are same, return me true or false. So now you can see ABC and another side is ABCD is there. So one letter is different. So it says false. When both are exactly same, including alphabets, including cases, cap letter, small letter, everything is ditto, same, then I will get as true. If you remove D, now it will say both are same, two texts are same. So you'll get a message true. Any one letter is also differ, then the exact will say false. So in formulas under text, these are all the formulas. In that, some of them I have given. So at least you need to practice this much. Length, proper, lower, uppercase, trim function. So trim is for to avoid any unwanted text spaces from text. Left, right, mid is for extracting the characters from left side or right side or in a text from any position. Find and search for search a text within another text. Comparison, it's not compare, it is exact. For it's used for comparison purpose. Concatenate is for joining two text. For that one symbol also I'm using ampersand, it's for concatenation operator. Okay. So till then you can practice under text function. One more function, date and time. So in Excel, the shortcut key for getting system date, control key, and you have colon and semicolon. So control, just press colon, you will get system date. Control shift colon will give you system time. So in a cell at that point, you wanted to get the timestamp immediately. I want to record the time of transaction occurred. So when you are doing with the financial transaction, so date and time, everything we will monitor. So control semicolon, control shift semicolon, or the colon, you will get time. So now same thing through function. I said just in the beginning of the class, today is for getting system date. Now is for getting both date and time. Okay, like this. From the date, I want to get only the month. So I can use month of from this date. So in this, what is a month now? 2. So it's February. Like this, I can get only year also. From a date portion, I can get exactly what I want. So now I'm getting year. Like this, from your date and time, you can extract only month, year, day, hour, minute, seconds. Now I wanted to know what is the hour. So I'll use your hour function. So what is your date? That is which contain time. You can get it. So now it is in the 24-hour format. 15 it is showing. So it's after 12, 1, 2, 3. So it's showing 13, 14, 15. So 3 o'clock. So we are getting 15 now. Then similarly, you can find out networked days, number of days we worked. So here, if you observe this formula, how I used network days, you see the parameters. So below, whichever function I use, built-in functions, Excel itself will show this syntax or the way how to use network days, starting date. First is starting date. Starting date I mentioned as G1. It is 5/1/2019. Ending date 5/20/2019. I mentioned 2 dates. Between these 2 dates, how many days are working days? So it will automatically subtract Saturdays and Sundays. In that calendar, in that month, how many Saturdays and Sundays are there will be automatically subtracted, and it gives you how many days are working days. So you can see now from 1 to 20, it's showing only 14 days are the working days. Means rest of all will be Saturdays and Sundays. Suppose I wanted to calculate working days. I wanted to add holidays also. Suppose out of 1 to 20, apart from Saturday, Sunday, any one of the weekday, if we had a holiday, like national holiday or local holiday, that holidays can also be mentioned. Like I said, 2 means apart from that, 2 extra holidays we did for our organization. So net working days of that month will be 14. Okay, so like this you can find with the date and time, date, day. So e date and all will explain. Minute, month, work days, now, seconds, time, year. So first basic functions, these are all. What is month? So I'll just make it show formula. You can see how I used the formulas now. Today, month, day, year, hour, minute, seconds. Okay. So this is about date functions. So for example, I wanted to calculate today is your, for example, suppose the installment date is today, you assume. So we wanted to extend another 10 days. So normally what we can do, if this is date plus 10, I will say. So, or whichever, suppose 7 days they have extended. So this basic arithmetic calculation, addition and subtraction, you can do with date. So from 18, we have added how many days? 7 days. So it becomes 25. Same way, from the date, I want to subtract 3 days. So from 25, I'm subtracting 3 days. So 22 days. Suppose I will subtract more than uh, like in a 2-digit value, that is also possible. So from 25, I subtracted 30 days. So it becomes January 26. So with the date, you can do addition and subtraction. Only this two calculation, you will get post date and pre date. So this two calculations, that is two operators can be used with date and time. Okay. So today one small exercise. So we have just covered date and time, text function, if function, even mathematical function we'll see today. That is better. Okay. So we'll work on that, is also very simple. We'll easily understand that. So there are functions which is power, factorial, modulus, integer. Then you can from the division, if you want to get remainder, you can use mod. You can use quotient also. You will get integer of decimal expression. You can find out logarithm, exponentiation, pi value. Then you can do rounding off by using floor and round. Ceiling also is there. So and if you see in mathematical normal functions like all, arc sine, arc cosine, all arc tan, so all mathematical formulas are there, which is related to trigonometry also. Okay. So very basic function, like still you will be working on sum if, sum product. So these are all, like for example, I have the data in the first array. So we have a value, sequence of values mentioned here. Suppose I write here the multiplication of these two values. Every each row I'm doing multiplication. Then if I fill, I'll get for all. Here, if I want total of this, then alt and plus symbol, I'll get sum. So what I did, multiplication of all the numbers, each row, and sum of them. Same thing I can use through the function called sum product. Sum product. So what is the first array? Then second array. Now multiply between the arrays plus sum of that values. So I'm getting same. If I do manually that, I have to first find product, then I have to get sum. 57 is sum of this range, addition of this range. Instead of doing this process, if you have to combine, multiply the values in two columns and you want to get total of that. So for example, if this is, you assume quantity and price of that product. So if this is the product code, so product code, I'll give some different codes I'll enter. Okay. Now you can observe, if I want what is the total sales, I'll write it here. So total sales we got is 57. So when I want to do this, first I should find out product. That means multiplication of each, then sum. So the same work I can do in one single function, that is called sum product. You will get sum first product of the two array or whichever array we mention. So if you start a function, you will only understand that sum product. Then it's showing array, array 2, array 3, like that. I mentioned first, this is my first array, that is called quantity. Then second array is price of those products. Then I'll close it. And finally I'm getting multiplied, but first multiply then sum. So this is comes under mathematical and mathematical functions. Like that you can see the function which is what we learned, cos value, sine value. So I have mentioned equal to cos of 100. So I have given cos of 100. So whichever value I mention here, for that in the cost table, whatever value it will show. Sine, tan. So in the trigonometry we'll be using all. Then power. So normally base and exponent. First argument is base, second argument is exponent. So it will find 2 to the power of 3. So that I am getting here as 8. Then factorial. So normally in statistics, factorial value, factorial of 4, 1 into 2 into 3 into 4, up to multiply from 1 till 4 or till n. Whichever value I pass here, till that 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. So that result I'll get. So when I show to formula, I'll get it. So then modulus. Modulus means remainder. So in maths, if you wanted to get mathematical process, I want to get quotient or I want to get remainder, I can use mod. Mod is for remainder. 10 by 3. 3 3s are 9. Remainder is 1. So that remainder I can get through MOD. Then from a decimal expression, that is float expression, I can get only the integer portion. So I'm using int of. So int of one decimal number I have given. So it will extract only the decimals, that is integer portions. 2323. It removes all decimal values. Same way, the log table, log base 12, exponentiation. So there are some completely mathematical trigonometry, math oriented functions are there. So there are people, they work for different category. So how as our commerce people, accounting people will more focus on accounting, normal arithmetic calculations, all these things. Like that the people who are from different engineering background, science background, they will also be using Excel to carry their work. So those people, whenever they wanted to do all that in the physics, chemistry, they will be doing lot of research. So they will be calculating the values. So those people need these functions. Then we have pi also, pi r squared, area of circle. So to get the pi value, I can use equals pi of. Okay. Then floor, round, these are all for rounding off. When you do round down, you can round up or round down. So round to the next, see when you, for example, I have a value. How do I round off this? Round, I'll say 1 digit. What I'm getting, 76.5. So we said extract only after decimal only 1 digit. Same way, if I say ceiling, number, what is your number and how many decimals you want. So what is happened here? 5 is there, but it is converted to 77. So ceiling will always round up, floor round down. Round is exactly how you want to round out. Okay, so there are different functions for rounding. Round up is there, round down is there, then floor function is there. So floor, the same function, how many significance, so that you can mention, then it will give you the values. It has given 76. So in the rounding off, there are different methods are there. You can round up to next nearest number, round down to next multiples, or you can cut down the digit, round up, round down. Okay, so only for rounding there are different function: round, round up, round down. Ceiling means always converting to upper value, next value. Round down means it will keep lesser value. Then we have so these are all the basic functions, like normal functions. In this we may use like integer, round up, round down. These functions will be used more. So here I want to find out compound interest. So what is a compound interest formula? P into 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power of n. This is my formula. This is for finding. P stands for principal amount, R rate of interest, n for number of years. So this is the formula to calculate compound interest. So as a accounting people, so if they wanted to find out this formula in the process, how they can express, you can observe here how we have given. So P, that is principal amount, is 45,000, which is in I12 into 1 plus R by 100. So power of 1 plus R is rate of interest is 4.3 by 100 whole to the power of n is 4 years, that is J12. So you can observe how we can represent a formula in Excel, where P into 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power of n. So the full expression I've given as base in power, exponent is J12. Okay, so J12 is what? Years. P amount is J12, sorry, I12. Year is J12, or rate of interest is K12. Okay, so these are all the the way how you can use power function. So based on our requirement, we can use these functions. So next class we will start with lookup functions, then index, match. Okay, so those are all search. It's basically it's work like a database function or searching functions. So this logical function, lookup functions, text, date. So some more functions also we'll discuss. Okay. So any doubts? Anybody have doubts? You can ask me. You people are practicing. Are you any of the time, like in a week, at least half an hour, if you do practice? Definitely will get doubts. Whatever we are discussing, the same thing, if you practice also, you will get doubts. Still, I'm not given any exercise. So today I give, if you can do it and send to me. So you have to prepare a student mark list. That student mark list, should have the columns like roll number, name of the student, then 3 subject marks you can enter: subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. Then I want total marks, average marks, then result should be pass or fail. So today we have discussed if function. Based on that, enter at least 10 record of the students, enter name, same way fill the marks within 1 to 100 for all the students. For 10 students you enter the marks, then using formula you find out total and average, then using if function you find out result of them, where the result cases all the 3 subjects should be above 40. So if 3 subject marks are should be greater than 40, then you write it as pass. Okay, else I should get fail. Okay, so this is your assignment or exercise. You do it off and practice and send to my mail ID. So any other doubts? Aisha, Fatima, Ranjini, Sahana, any of you have doubts? Darshan, Hemant, Gauhar, Abhishek, any of you have doubts, you can ask me. That's it for today's class. And I want you to practice by like practice first all the functions what we discussed today. Then you prepare a mark list which consists of roll number, name, 3 subject marks, find total of that 3 marks. For example, data, then name, marks. So with this, after that, you have to find total marks, average marks, and result. Result, I want pass or fail. If student in all the 3 subject, if the marks scored above 40, then for that student, result should be pass. Else, fail. So like this, you create and prepare one table, add all the formatting, alignments, set the background color of that cells, text color, border, everything you apply and send to my mail ID. Okay. So next class, we will continue with lookup functions. Any doubts or we will close the session for today. Let us continue next class. We'll complete the session. Okay. Thank you all of you. We'll meet you on Saturday. Bye.